This is day 298. You fear what you pay for. If you want to understand what you are afraid of, then just take a look at who you are paying to do things for you. I guess I'm afraid of mowing my lawn. Anyway, there will be one of two conclusions. Number one, you have figured out a process that works really well, and now you want to scale. You are hiring people to make this process flow even better and even faster. Two, you have fear. You do not think that you can do the things that you're asking someone to do for you. You are afraid of this, and therefore are willing to part with your money to have someone do it for you. This binary will seem disagreeable to you at first look. It was to me. I came up with about 10 reasons I might hire someone that was not number two. However, the deeper I looked, the more of those reasons just looked like excuses. This is something that I know how to do. This is something that I don't know how to do. Why should I do something I am not that good at? Wouldn't it be wiser to just hire someone? No, it would not. It would be better for me to try and figure out the process, and then when I have it working, go and hire someone to do it for me. So why am I not doing it? Fear. But wait a minute, I say to myself. I'm too busy to dive into something and figure it out. Isn't it smarter to outsource things that I do not have time for? To hire people who are experts in a topic that I am not? Well, yes. However, when you do hire when do you hire this extra talent? When do you hire the expert? If you look carefully, your instinct to hire these people is not when you are ready, but actually when you are the most afraid. Instead of doing your diligence, you hire people, and you are effectively hoping that they will tell you something that will reduce your fear. Here's the funny thing. You have not even started out yet. You are just barely at the idea stage, and you are hiring people. Not because they can actually do a task for you that you have defined, but because you are hoping they will help you see a path past your fear. Then when you start working with them, they actually start confirming all of your fears. All the things that you knew that you would have to figure out are just being confirmed to you. You just paid an expert to tell you what you already knew. Well, perhaps I need a guide instead. Perhaps I need someone to walk me through the steps and guide me through the process so that I do not make mistakes along the way. Now, this sounds reasonable, but think this through. You have not even started on the path yet, and you are already looking for a guide? You are so afraid of tripping on small rocks that you will spend all of your time and money navigating the easiest part of the trail. The time for a guide is not when the trail is well marked. The time for a guide is when the path becomes extremely treacherous and complicated. Fear is what is seeking the guide in early stages, not a genuine desire for a guide. Now think about it. In every hero story that I've ever read, the guide is not sought for. The guide comes at the right time by some mysterious happenstance that occurs when the hero needs it the most. If you try to force the guide into your employ, then they will be in your life at the wrong time and in the wrong place. Every time I've tried to take this shortcut, I have had the same result. The guide that I hired is trying to pull me onto a new path, one that they know well. I resist because I want to take the path that I'm on. The guide tries to convince me that my path is not good and that the other path is better. A guide hired too soon always tries to divert your attention to the path well traveled. Maybe this is a good thing, but at least admit that it was your fear that made this decision and not the guide. There's an entire industry now starting to blossom that is feeding on the hard things that people are afraid to do. The new economy of fear peddling. Are you afraid of speaking? You can hire someone to help you with that. Are you afraid of looking for a job? You can hire for that too. Are you afraid of cold outreach? Well, there's definitely a few people for that. Are you afraid of making mistakes? I even found someone claiming that they could help me with that as well. Are you afraid of just starting? That is covered too. Need help asking for money? We got you covered. All the worries and frets that a new entrepreneur has can be hired out. I guess the ones that you are afraid of the most are the ones that you will ultimately pay for. Which leads me to this very interesting conclusion. Is there something that you are not afraid of that everyone else is? If the answer is yes, then you could become very rich.